This is article review number 2. In this article, there are 5 very important and valid tips for someone who is in need of keeping in contact with an employee, distant employee, or a distant student. The 5 tips are as follows. Write everything down, be available, keep everything in one place, go beyond text, be inclusive. The article covers the difficulty of giving visual cues to employees or to students and making sure they truly understand what they need to do. It's almost impossible to do. It is impossible to do in lots of ways. If you're going to do instant messaging or email, you can't really show them something with your body language. You can't do it at all. You can do it with video chat, but a lot of the times it's still ineffective. The author seems to really accentuate the importance of keeping everything organized and in one place. If you're a messy or unorganized person, it's going to be difficult to remember what tasks you need to do, what things you need to get done, who you need to still email, who you need to talk to about certain things. The article also talks about Skype being a very easy thing to use. It's the video chat or instant messaging. It's free, easy to use, and it's universal. Most everybody has it. All in all, the article gives very good pointers on how to communicate with either distant employees or distant students. The 5 tips it gave were the way it described them, the way it told about them, very easy to understand, and it made a lot of sense to me. On page 131 of the text, it talks about the benefits of nonverbal communication. The greater your nonverbal skills, the more successful you're likely to be in a wide variety of interpersonal situations. I took this in the most literal way that it could possibly be taken without actually being able to talk to the person and without hearing their voice inflections or even seeing their reactions. It's a lot harder to communicate. If you can find a way to communicate your wants and needs with people with just text-based communication, such as email or instant messaging, you're far more likely to go far because you're going to broaden your horizons a lot more. Then on page 122 of the text, it talks about intentional orientation, where people tend to view people, objects, and events in terms of how they're talked about, or how they're labeled, rather than in terms of reality. It's very easy to do this when you don't have a face to put to a person. So if you're talking to somebody, let's say you're having an audio chat with somebody from a long ways away, and you're trying to describe something to them or trying to get them to understand something. Let's say that person has an Indian accent, heavy Indian accent. Some people would immediately jump to stereotypes. Obviously, it's best to avoid this and keep, an open mind and keep your horizons broad. But some people do that, and some people are guilty of it. And I just thought it was interesting how text-based communication or audio-based communication or even video-based communication, where there isn't somebody right next to you, it's easy to stereotype or it's easy to assume something about somebody. Then, on page 118 of the text, it talks about ageism. Discrimination against older people basically is what ageism is. And I thought this would relate to the article because there are many stereotypes that older people don't know how to operate or use technology. So this can lead to many difficulties for older or elderly people to be taken seriously when using online communication. I learned that online communication, while it seems easy and mostly instantaneous, it can bring up a lot of problems and make social interaction more difficult. The article gave 5 very solid tips that somebody would want to take when managing somebody or instructing somebody from a distance. Thanks for watching.